Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm here to tell you that you are not in Kansas anymore. Kansas means to sing or to cry out. If you could sing or cry out, that means you could speak. That means the words are within you, and the word is life. And there came a storm, the angel riding in the whirlwind, and took Dorothy to another place. When Dorothy opened the door to her house, when she opened the door to her house, the house is the body. When she opened the door to her house, she was no longer in Kansas. Dorothy, oh Dorothy, Dorothy is the door. She went through the door. Jesus says, I stand at the door. And Dorothy had red slippers. Red is the color of blood, which is the life. There's two lives, this life and the next. And you must go through the door to get to the next. Are you listening, Dorothy? Are you listening? Those who have ears to hear, let them hear. Go through the door, Dorothy. Janice, the two-faced God, the God of doors and gateways. You need to use the Delta Force. Use the Force, Dorothy, to get back to where you belong. But when you get back to where you belong, you will get back to Kansas eventually. Eventually, even, event, Eve, mother of all living. Now let me read you this verse from the Bible. It is called Ezekiel 47:9. Ezekiel chapter 47, verse 9. Swarms of living creatures will live wherever the river flows. There will be large numbers of fish because this water flows from there and makes the salt water fresh. So where the river flows, everything will live. Let me read you another verse. Matthew chapter 5:13. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled upon. Once again, Dorothy, there's two lives, this life and the next. You are fresh water. You come from the ocean where there is salt water. You cannot lose your salt. You must regain your salt to go back into the ocean, to go through the door, to go through the delta force, where the river meets the ocean. Are you listening? I hope you are. I got a little bit more for you. What does Dorothy mean? Dorothy means God's gift or the gift of God. What is the gift of God? Life, the word, to speak into existence. Are you listening, Dorothy? What happened? Why did you lose your slippers? You've lost your slippers, Dorothy. So, we have a hurricane coming to most likely Louisiana called Delta. From what it seems like, it might be the strongest hurricane yet. Louisiana has a delta, which is where the river of the Mississippi flows into the Gulf of Mexico. Life in this world starts when the ocean meets the land. The ocean meets the land and creates fresh life. But life always comes to an end, which is when the river flows back into the ocean. That it's not really the end, it's just a different life. It is the circle of life. An interesting tidbit from Kansas to Louisiana, or from Louisiana to Kansas, there is 1,700, sorry, excuse me, 1,071 kilometers. 1 plus 0 plus 7 plus 1 is 9. 9 is 6 backwards. 6 is the number of man. 9 is the number of spiritual man. So from Kansas to the Delta, to where Louisiana is, to where the river meets the ocean, it is spiritual life. Are you listening, Dorothy? Also, if you change it from kilometers to miles, it is 665 miles. 1 mile off from 666. You need to be 665. You do not want to be 666. Do not lose your salt. For what are you worth if you lose your salt? Salt in Spanish is sal, S-A-L. It's missing the T. Sal also means leave, like leave something, leave a place. Do not lose your salt so that you may leave. They also say it's bad luck to drop salt on the floor. Do not lose your salt. Another interesting tidbit, there's a place in Louisiana called, where is it? Hold on, I'm looking at my links here. It's a lot of material. There's a place in Louisiana called Delta, Delta, Louisiana. And this place, Delta, also meets the river. And it says Delta is a village in Madison Parish, Louisiana. It is a ghost town. Why is it a ghost town? Because barely any people live there. According to the last available information, there was 239 people in year 2000. So 20 years ago, there was only 239 people. You got to reverse that number and you get 923. 923. It's a very important number. I will get more into 923 in the next video. So, sadly, I know you guys don't want to hear it, but the Delta will become a ghost town. The Earth will become a ghost town because all life will go back to the ocean. Are you listening, Dorothy? Now, the last little tidbit. Supposedly, years back, somebody stole Dorothy's shoes from the museum, and the FBI and Delta Airlines helped recover it and bring it back to its place. It was stolen and lost for 13 years. 13. Unlucky number 13. Delta also means the door. Are you listening, Dorothy? I hope you are. What shoes are you gonna lose? And when will you gain them back? Those who have ears to listen, let them hear. The delta is the door. The word is the door. But it's a revolving door. Nobody has any questions. I will leave it at this. I will come back probably tomorrow with more info on the 923 or the 239 code, which ties into Delta Force and leaving Kansas. Do not lose your gift of God, Dorothy. I love you all. Be love and share love.